Just wanted to kind of go over something I did this last week, and I went out to a rural property in northeastern Wisconsin, and the customer was a real estate or developer that was looking into this area and some properties, and it's very hilly. It's something where they're not going to go out to the property, but they need somebody to assess it. So pretty common in real estate. For this one specifically, though, the slope and hills, and you can even see on this little shot here, the terrain is heavily sloped. So can you build on the lot, right? Can you put a structure on there? Can you put a hunting cabin, or can you put a whatever, something, a trailer, right? I went out there, and I'll just do a quick little orbital of the land here on my Google Drive. All right, so here's basically the lot. You can actually see me standing on the right side here, and if you look at my car, vehicle is going to be here in a second. So that's the difference. The left side here, or the right side here, where my car is, and where I'm standing. The rest of that is actually the lot I'm looking at. And even here, you can see it's pretty heavily sloped, right? There's a lot of elevation, so I'm not a professional land surveyor, right? I'm not going to walk this site in the mud and the snow. It's many acres, and it's heavily wooded. So what I was able to do is bring my DJI 4E Matrice, or Matrice 4E Enterprise drone, which is a mapping drone, and I was able to do a quick little map of it. 100 feet, this is actually 200 feet above the ground is what I did. And I brought it back to my DJI Terra software to process it and to give some elevation maps and try to see if, I don't have LiDAR, so I'm not sending thousands of points of laser light back down to the ground to capture and go through the trees, right? But because this is not summer and there's no tree canopy, I can actually still see the ground and get some sort of a map. Just another couple shots here of the property. Maybe at 100 feet you guys can see this a little bit better. No, it's pretty similar to what we looked at before. So the lot line here, this is what we're looking at, right? And I think this is actually deeper than what I was able to do. They didn't give me a KML. I created my own so I could do the map pretty easily out there. I didn't know how good connection was going to be in rural northeastern Wisconsin. But hey, they have cell towers up there. They had some coverage, so I was able to link to my phone and have a network, and even have it RTK signal on there as well. So let me just pause here for a second, and we're going to go into DJI Terra. Okay, so now we're going to open up DJI Terra. All right, so this is the software I use to evaluate it with my drone and mapping. So I created a 2D, a mesh, 3D on this, a few different things, right? So as we open this up here, you can see there's tons of trees, so it's not just a clean map, but I was still able to get a lot of data from it, right? You can see here's my car, I'm standing over here somewhere, but as we go to the point cloud, we're going to see that we can see the elevation of land pretty well. And I lost it here. No, don't do this now. Not now. Not now. All right. So I was able to do this collection here, right? It's not ideal, but I was able to get elevation here on the land that could be very helpful to them, right? From the front of the lot line, and I'm even going to take the trees off here because I can do that. So I'm going to take off point not classified here and just see the landscape. There's a heavy dip in the land. So from the road, that's what I saw, like, oh my God, this is tons of elevation. I can't see the back of the lot. I'm not hiking back there in the snow and mud. That's not what my job was for this, right? And I'm not even when I'm back there, how am I able to evaluate it? Does it look flat? So I was able to do this little map, see that there is kind of a plateau in the back, and where I'm curious now, like, okay, what does that mean? I can use the tool here to create measurements. So from the front of the lot to the back of the lot here, apparently I don't know how to use the same, there we go. Right, so we're looking at 8.7 feet, and I think it was actually 10 or 11 on one of the other points that I put on here, of vertical distance from the front of the road to the top here, and 1.1 degrees of slope, right? So let's make that towards the bottom of this little area, this dip, and that's 8 feet down from the road, right? Right away, I could see that going down. I was like, it's a pretty treacherous walk for me to get down there, right? So if we do from the high ground to the actual little ditch here, you can see that this is going to be 20 feet, almost 4 degrees of slope. So I wasn't able to see this little flat ground in the background, but actually doing the measurements here, you can see there's one foot of slope, or 1 foot of this vertical distance between these two lines, 100 feet of horizontal distance, 0.7 slope. I'm not a land developer, but I'm pretty sure that's going to give you enough, area to build something on this property here, and even going here a little bit. There's a little bit more slope here on the right. But I was able to screenshot this stuff, right, and just give them a couple different looks, give them an orbital of the land, right, really quickly, and provide that to them, and that goes a long way. These land developers and people looking at acquiring or who had bought this land and trying to see if there's value to it and what they can do on there, and if you can build a structure on there, you can build a house, you can put a trailer on there, without having to deal with major slopes. So this was a huge value to them. And this was literally probably not that much effort for me. I needed to do some planning, create a KML file, fly the route, bring it back here to the software, evaluate. So a little additional work, but this is using the tool for what it's intended to, right? So I got very, very, the customer was very, very happy with this. I was able to really provide them or him what they needed. Let's just look at the trees. They don't need to go out to the properties. So I was even able to charge a little bit more for this job because I use this, and I stated that, like, for what you guys are looking for. Not just any drone pilot's going to be able to go out there and give you a good answer, right? I can give you all the photos you want, but because it's so tree covered, how do you see it, right? And I don't even have a LiDAR drone. I'm using this, and I can still get enough detail to give some land below the trees to give them a solution. So just wanted to show you that. I think it's a great example of how you can use a drone as a tool, right? And I'm not exporting them all these fancy engineering files that they can use for a CAD program or three-dimensional. I can do that, right? I can do some of that analysis myself, but this is just to start, solutioning that can save somebody time or money flying out here to the middle of nowhere. Beautiful area, by the way, like just hillsides and rolling hills and lakes and water and everything. So if you've never been to Northern Wisconsin, it's a pretty place. So, but yeah, just wanted to share with you. Turned out great. If you ever come across something like this, or you have a DJI 4E Matrice, this is something you can use it for. If you're out there looking at this going, I need a drone guy to help me with this sort of thing, well, people who have this drone, have this technology, can provide it to you. It's something that's out there and available, and myself included, if you're in Wisconsin and need some work, I can help you. So appreciate it. This is Nick from Fox River Drones, and I'll come back with some more stuff soon. Thanks. Bye.